Alright, Bush. So some of the things I was gonna introduce to you. I can't talk for some reason. So, alright. The biggest thing I was telling you about them crystals, the Transmute Crystals. Okay, see, I have 825 out of 1,000, right? So, what you can do with those is you have a transmute station. So, if you get a piece of armor that is not the right trait, you can use your transmute crystals to change it to the right trait you need. So powered, divines, whatever the case may be. Of course, you do have to research that level to be able to do it. You can do it with gear. You could do it with weapons. I mean, it really don't matter. Just whatever it is that you want to change into that particular trait. So what I was gonna show you and tell you was with them transmute crystals, how you end up getting a ton of I can't even talk, a ton of them in your inventory, which it looks like I don't have it. But anyways, normally they're through your inventory, so you're trying to figure ways to clear them out because you can't put them in your bank and all of that. All right. So before I go into that part, just to let you know, if you deconstruct any kind of PvP, any kind of dungeon, arena, whatever armor you deconstruct, you get a skill line for it. And so, like how we've been doing a lot of dungeons, if you deconstruct it, all right, let's say the monster helm that you just got tonight. So, if I can find it here. It's up here. So, when you deconstruct it, it saves into your archive. So you can at any time recreate it with 35 crystals. So if you have other characters, you don't have to hunt for that gear anymore if you deconstruct it. I decon all my gear now. Just because of this, I can bring it back with the crystals. Crystals are super easy to get. The other thing I was going to tell you was, okay, with the crystals, in order to save bank space, what I do now, since I've learned this, which I've been using it for burning spellweave helmets, is you can construct it for 25 crystals, right? So let's go ahead and make one. You don't have, whatever gem you want. A lot of times you have a bunch of extra gems, for traits. So it don't really matter, what one you pick. Just use up whichever gem that you have the most of for the traits. Which, I mean, you get a lot of low level ones, so it's easy to do. Superior, this part, quality, you don't have to mess with. So what I do is I construct one of these, and it costs 25 gems to do it, or crystals. And so what you can do with this is you can physically take, okay, I have a ton of them done, which I'll show you my bank right now. I have a ton of them done just because I got tired of all those taking up my bank space. Where's my helmets? See, I can take all these and I can deconstruct them, and this is what happens when you deconstruct them. So it costs 25 crystal shards to construct it, and then when you deconstruct it, clothing, deconstruct, here it is, deconstruct. Top right corner, I got my 25 transmute crystals back. So basically that's how you are able to inventory your crystals, so you have more bank space. But the biggest, which I just recently learned, is the biggest thing is with these, you can reconstruct anything you had deconstructed. It don't matter if it's PvP, it don't matter if it's trials, So if you have other characters that you're trying to get the same gear for, you don't have to keep hunting dungeons anymore. You just have to use the crystals to reconstruct it. So DLC dungeons, you know, Fang Lair's a big one. You know, whatever one it is, if you deconstruct that, you can reconstruct it. Plus, the more you learn of that particular gear, the lower it costs for crystals. So, like, if you look at the, let's go with something I don't have a lot of. The Glacier. It costs 70 to do it, alright? But, if I go to my dungeons, City of Ash, I have a ton of different gear just because that's how much I've been running City of Ash. So, like, see, I have all these. It only costs 25. So the more trait of those you learn, the lower it costs to do it. See, this one's 35. Once I get this final Valkyrie shield, it will be 25. Same with the internal. It will go down to 25 once I learn all of it. But yeah, that's what I was gonna show you. So I just figured I'd go and make this video just so you kind of understand it. So, bottom line is, I deconstruct all my gear. For one, you get mats for it. Whether it's purple, it don't matter. I decon everything now. I've deconned so much gear I was saving just for the simple fact I can rebuild. So, which makes a lot more better. Because then you can take and you can rebuild it to that trait you want, and you can then enhance it with the glyph that you want to do it with for any of your characters, which makes things a lot more simple now. Back then, you had to constantly hunt dungeons to get different gear for different characters and everything else. So that's something that I was going to show you and introduce to you since you're newer here, to get you to understand how that works.